Hi, welcome back to the video today. Problems with rounded shoulders are an extremely common postural issue in the modern world. It is more than just a cosmetic concern. It can lead to neck and shoulder pain, dysfunction like reduction in range of motion and stiffness, and a high risk of injury like shoulder impingement. The typical posture of rounded shoulders, often accompanied by a forward head posture, is clinically known as upper cross syndrome, which describes a predictable pattern of muscle imbalances in the upper body. So your chest muscles are typically tight and upper back muscles are typically weak. It is typically caused by prolonged poor posture, often from daily habits. For example, excessive sitting and desk work, prolonged smartphones and tablet use, driving long distance, lack of exercise, improper strength training, overdeveloping the chest muscles and ignoring the back muscles. And psychological factors play a role as well, for example, stress and anxiety. And perhaps low self-confidence can subconsciously cause a person to slump and round the shoulders forward. And reversing rounded shoulders requires a combination of stretching tight muscles and strengthening weak muscles, improving postural awareness and modifying daily habits. So if you're struggling with poor posture, shoulder tightness, and forward rounded shoulders from sitting all day, this 5 to 10 minutes shoulder mobility and stability routine is your at-home solution to relieve pain, restore proper alignment, and fix round shoulders fast. This routine is perfect for anyone with tight neck, desk posture, or upper back stiffness. This routine combines myofascial release, deep stretches, and isometric strength work. No equipment needed, just a wall, a tennis ball, and your body. And this is the best round shoulder correction program to do on a daily basis for anyone. But before we dive into all this, please do me a small favor by hitting the like button, subscribe, and sharing your thoughts or feedbacks in the comments below. And just before I show you, I just need to make you aware these exercises are not going to be suitable for everyone. Do seek further advice before you give them a try, and stop if they cause you any pain. Let's get started with our first exercise today, self-myofascial release of tight tissues. We're looking to stabilize and mobilize and bring balance back into the shoulder and neck complex. If the area between your shoulder and chest is tight and stiff, and if your shoulder are pulled forward, the first thing we're going to do is to try and release some of that tension with a trigger point or lacrosse or tennis ball. You can do this on the edge of a wall or on a pillar, which offers more versatility and freedom of movements. So you're going to press this part of your chest right where it meets the shoulder into the pillar by leaning forward against the ball, and then slowly and gently move up and down in a very small range. You can also turn in and out and move your arm or shoulder circles to facilitate a comprehensive release of all the tissues involved. Carry on doing this for no more than a minute for each shoulder before we move on to the next corrective exercise. Exercise 2, chest and shoulder stretch with rotation. Next, we aim to stretch our tight pectoral muscles of our chest and the rhomboid muscle of our mid-back. I'm going to demonstrate to you two variations, one with the pillar or wall and the other one with the resistance band. For the first option, we're going to simply place your forearm parallel to the wall or a pillar. You're going to step forward with the same side leg and start to slowly externally rotate away from the support. You can go up and down with your forearm, stretching out different parts of the muscles and fascia of our chest. You can do this a number of times, going in for about 5 to 10 seconds at a time. Alternatively, you can simply hold this position and slowly allow the tissue to release. You don't need to be too aggressive with this. We're looking for mobility and not to tear your shoulder apart. Next, anchor stretch for shoulder and back. So next we're going to reach across our body with our outside arm to grip the pillar. And you're simply going to pull yourself away from the anchor. Imagine your shoulder blades pulling away. And as you do this, you should feel the back of your shoulder stretching. From there, you're going to turn towards the pillar and to stretch the muscle between your shoulder blades. That is the rhomboids. At that point, you can pull your pelvis away and start to feel the side and also the quadratus lumborum in the back stretching. You can use small movements in order to feel different fibers of the muscle chain, Hold this and move around for about 1 minute. Here is a banded variation of the shoulder stretch. The benefits of using a resistance band is that it allows us a little bit more resistance as well as flexibility, enabling us to change position as we go. As you can see, I simply raise my arm into external rotation, my elbow points forward, and I'm simply able to rotate away from the end of the band with my torso in order to get a good stretch of my chest. I can then go forward a little bit more to pull or back up with my body, moving ahead and back in order to load or deload. From there, I'm going to rotate and point my elbow forward, which then helps me to stretch my triceps. And slowly rotate around the head until I start to feel my rhomboid and my mid-back. I can then rotate and I can lean forward, feeling the stretch in my quadratus lumborum on the side of my lower back. As you can see, I'm able to rotate around and alternate between all these muscle groups in order to get a thorough stretch throughout the entire system. Next, we are going to gently stretch our shoulders. You're going to find a pillar. Ideally, you're going to place your hand behind your back, grip with a hook grip with your fingers. You want to stand tall, pull your shoulders back and down first, and then apply the load by pulling yourself away from the anchor point. At that point, you're going to turn one way, and then turn the other way very gently. This is not about how hard you pull. This is about opening up the shoulder, which means we have to be somewhat relaxed and passive in order to reap the benefits of this exercise. So be very careful that when you do this, your shoulder is not protracted like this. You need to stand tall, pull your shoulders back and down first, and then apply the load by pulling yourself away from the anchor point. And the next part of the sequence is an isometric shoulder contraction. So I'm going to place my forearm right up against the pillar, making sure that as I look forward, I can see my elbow peripherally. This tells me that my shoulder is in an optimal position for this drill. From there, I'm going to simply get tall and I'm going to push against the pillar, feeling the frontal part of my shoulder engaged. I'm then going to hold it for about 10 seconds and then release. From there, we're going to transition to the opposite side. I'm going to place the back of my forearm against the pillar. And again, making sure that I am back enough that my elbow is ahead of my body, as opposed to the elbow being behind my body. From there, I'm going to push back and I'm going to feel the back of my shoulder engaged. We can also use a resistance band for this exercise. This is a progressive loaded isometric contraction of my shoulder. The arm position is similar to that when we perform an elbow plank. So in this position, when I look forward, I can see my elbow peripherally. The chances are that I'm in a healthy shoulder position. From there, I'm going to grab the band and simply walk forward, holding that position. As I walk forward, we add load. The muscles on my shoulders are engaging and stabilizing. Next, I'm going to do the same thing in reverse. I will show you on the other hand. I'm going to simply grab the band and work backwards, and hold this position for 10 to 15 seconds. The next exercise will help us with shoulder stability and activate the external rotators of the shoulder complex. Let's sit on the floor with one knee bent and place my elbow on that bent knee. And I want to make sure that my shoulder is back and down. So externally rotated and depressed. The other hand is pushing me away from the floor so that I can sit poised and tall, chest up, and I'm going to take a small weight. And I'm going to simply allow it to fall forward to the inside of the body while you're maintaining the shoulder in that stabilized position. From there, we're going to externally rotate and repeat. But we need to avoid shoulder protraction like this. Repeat the action for 12 repetitions and then repeat on the other side. Now, because we are all unique in length of our limbs and the shape of our bodies, some of you may not find this position comfortable. Some of you may find yourself leaning or unable to verticalize your posture. In those cases, it may be helpful to either sit on top of a yoga block like this. On the other hand, if you find that your arm is not long enough, you can use another yoga block by the side in order to push yourself up and create that perfect position before you start this exercise. The next exercise is ideally executed with a kettlebell, but can be done with any other weighted implements. I prefer to use a kettlebell because I can hold it bottom up, which helps me with my grip strength my alignment, my control, and my reactivity. I would like you to create a 90-degree bend at your elbow, palm facing yourself. And then you're going to simply bring your elbow out to the side, palm facing forward. So as you can see, as I'm turning in and out, I can feel tremendously in my shoulder blade. This would be stage 1. And stage 2 would be to start pressing up overhead. As usual, I want to be able to see my elbow peripherally, which helps to maintain the optimal position of my shoulder as I push up and as I bring it back. Now for beginners, you can simply turn the kettlebell over and do this exercise like this, so you don't have to deal with that added balance element. And as I have said before, we can use anything that we can grip in our hand, from a heavy book to a plate or any other weight implements. Consistency is crucial. This takes weeks or months of consistent efforts. Incorporate stretches into your daily routine and strengthening 2 to 4 times per week. So by diligently addressing the muscle imbalances, you can effectively reverse rounded shoulders and improve your overall posture, reducing strain and potential pain. I hope you find these exercises useful. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Until next week, take care. Thank you for watching until the end. If you like this video, please click the like button. Please leave your comments below and share this video. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of my future weekly video release. Please also subscribe to this channel. This is free of charge but will help the channel to grow. If you're interested in improving your health and fitness or losing weight, if you suffer from or wish to prevent back pain, please take a look at my book, which is now available from Amazon worldwide. Thank you.